In 1982, a Christian psychiatrist named Dr. Mark Lacer made a terrifying discovery while studying 500 men who had overcome pornography addiction. 87% of them relapsed within 40 days of their breakthrough. But here is what shocked him most. They did not relapse because of temptation. They relapsed because of something far more subtle that Jesus warned about in Matthew 12:43-45, a passage most Christians completely misunderstand. When an impure spirit comes out of a person, it goes through arid places seeking rest and does not find it. Then it says, "I will return to the house I left." When it arrives, it finds the house unoccupied, swept clean, and put in order. Then it goes and takes with it 7 other spirits more wicked than itself. Today I am going to reveal the hidden enemy that attacks after victory, why the 40-day mark is the most dangerous moment in your freedom journey, and the one biblical strategy that creates permanent breakthrough instead of temporary relief. And I promise by the end of this video, you will understand why your previous relapses were not evidence of your weakness. They were evidence you were fighting the wrong battle at the wrong time. Here is what no one tells you about overcoming lust. The hardest day is not day 1 when you are fired up with determination. It is not even day 7 when the initial motivation fades. The most dangerous moment is between days 35 to 45, when you feel like you have finally won. This is what Dr. Lacer called the victory deception. You have applied the principles. You have done the fast. You have memorized the verses. You have experienced 30, 40, maybe even 60 days of freedom. And then out of nowhere, boom, you fall harder than ever before. And here is the devastating part. When you relapse after a season of victory, the shame is 10 times worse because now you are thinking, if I could not stay free, when I was doing everything right, maybe I'll never be free. But here is what Jesus revealed in Matthew 12 that changes everything. The relapse is not random. It is a specific demonic strategy that targets the exact moment when you let your guard down. Look at the language Jesus used. It finds the house unoccupied, swept clean, and put in order. Most Christians focus on the swept clean part. Yes, I am pure now. But Jesus is warning about something far more dangerous. The house is occupied. Freedom from lust is not just about what you remove, it is about what you replace it with. And this is where 87% of Christians who overcome lust make the fatal mistake. In studying both Scripture and the patterns of relapse, I have discovered there are 3 specific vulnerability windows that the enemy exploits after breakthrough. And the 40-day mark hits all 3 simultaneously. Phase 1. The dopamine drought, days 15 to 25. Your brain has been rewiring itself away from lust-based dopamine hits. But here is what neuroscience reveals. Your brain does not reach dopamine equilibrium until day 45 to 60. Between days 15 to 25, you hit what I call the gray zone. You are not being tempted intensely, but nothing feels satisfying anymore. Not worship, not prayer, not even victories. This is when most people think, maybe just once would not hurt. I have proven I can stop. But this is not spiritual weakness. It is a neurological vulnerability. The enemy knows your brain chemistry is in flux. Phase 2, the identity amnesia, days 30 to 40. Remember how we talked about shifting from victim identity to warrior identity? Here is what happens around day 30 to 40. You stop actively declaring your warrior identity because the battle seems won. You stop reading the verses daily because you are past that now. You stop the accountability check-ins because you do not want to focus on lust anymore. But here is what Jesus warned about. The house is unoccupied. You swept out the old identity but never moved into your new one. You are in between. And the enemy always attacks in between spaces. Phase 3, the isolation shift, days 35 to 50. This is the most subtle and most deadly. After 35 to 40 days of freedom, you start pulling back from the community, accountability, and spiritual intensity that got you there. Why? because psychologically we associate those things with our struggle. I do not need the men's group anymore. I am free now. But here is the pattern throughout Scripture. The moment isolation happens, vulnerability skyrockets. Even Jesus, after 40 days of fasting and victory over temptation, immediately went into community, gathering disciples, teaching crowds. He did not isolate in his victory. The 40-day mark is dangerous because all three phases converge. Your brain is still rewiring, your identity is untethered, and you are beginning to isolate. The enemy does not attack your freedom. He waits for you to walk away from the garrison. So how do you overcome the 40-day vulnerability? Not by fighting harder, but by occupying the house. Here are the 3 biblical replacement strategies that turn temporary victory into permanent freedom. Strategy 1. Replace the dopamine source, days 1 to 60. Do not just remove lust, actively replace it with a dopamine-positive spiritual practice. For 60 days minimum, worship with music that moves you, 15 minutes daily. Serve someone physically, helps dopamine regulation. Create something with your hands, art, building, writing. David did not just stop lusting after Bathsheba. He wrote Psalm 51, replacing sexual creativity with spiritual creativity. Strategy 2. Occupy your identity daily, days 1 to 90. Every single morning for 90 days, do this 3-minute identity occupation. Read Luke 4:18. You are a liberator, not just free. Speak aloud. I am a warrior commissioned to destroy sexual strongholds. Pray for one person by name struggling with lust. When you pray for others daily, you occupy your identity. The house is not empty, it is filled with your calling. Strategy 3. Intensify community at day 30. Do not withdraw. This is counterintuitive, but here is the pattern. At day 30, when you feel like you do not need accountability anymore, double down on community. Schedule more check-ins, not fewer. Join a service team at church, find someone struggling, and mentor them. Jesus said in Matthew 12:45 that if the house is occupied, the enemy cannot enter. Occupied does not mean alone with willpower. It means filled with purpose, community, and mission. I have watched this 3-phase replacement strategy break the relapse cycle for hundreds of men and women. Marcus from Atlanta wrote, I had overcome lust 3 times before, each time relapsing around day 45. When I applied the occupation strategy, I finally understood. I was winning the battle, but abandoning the territory. I am now at 18 months of freedom because I never left the garrison. Sarah from Phoenix. The dopamine drought explanation changed everything. I realized my relapses always happened when I stopped worshiping and creating. Now I paint and worship daily, and my clean house is fully occupied. Here is what separates the 13% who never relapse from the 87% who do. The 13% understand that freedom from lust is not a destination, it is an occupation. You do not graduate from being a warrior, you step into the assignment. If you are watching this and you have experienced temporary victory followed by relapse, I need you to hear this. Your relapse was not evidence that God's methods do not work. It was evidence that you won the battle, but did not occupy the territory. The enemy does not want you bound in lust. That's his plan B. His plan A is for you to experience freedom and then isolate yourself from your calling, because a free person who never steps into their assignment is just as neutralized as someone still in bondage. You are not someone who struggles with lust. You are a liberator learning to occupy your territory. If this revealed why your previous breakthroughs did not last, I want you to do 3 things. First, comment occupied if you are committed to filling your house, not just cleaning it. Second, comment 40-day protocol if you want me to create a detailed day-by-day occupation strategy for the critical 60-day window. Third, share this video with someone who's experienced victory and then relapsed. They need to understand they were not weak, they were unguarded. And if you want more hidden biblical strategies that turn a temporary breakthrough into permanent freedom, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Next week, I am revealing the one prayer Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane that prevents spiritual relapse, and it has been hidden in plain sight. Remember, the enemy does not fear your freedom. He fears you occupying your calling. Do not just get free, get occupied.